No, but not good either. How Dame Barbara found the baby in Smurfs. I just hope Dame Barbara has. Is this what you call sleeping, Pee-wee? Pee-wee, you're the one who disappeared when you should have been watching the little fellow.
When I win this scavenger hunt, I'll show Junior Wentworth once and for all that I'm the best.
What's All-Star doing to my garbage dump? There's nothing sacred.
A golden baby Snork booty.
Gold?
Well, it's not a booty, but it's golden.
Way to go, All-Star! You found my lost doohickey. It was lost. You found it. Now give it to me.
You'll have to catch me first.
Give it to me, you claim chopper!
Boy, are you slow. You've been eating too many kelp burgers.
Oh, my poor leg. It hurts. Pain. Oh, pain.
Gee, Bigweed, are you all right?
It hurts. Oh, it hurts.
Well, what can I do to help?
Well, for starters, I'll take this.
You big faker.
Well, I may be slow, but I'm sneaky. And I'm stinky. Where's the Dalton gangs? What was that, Big Mouth?
The Right Honorable Judge Tumbleweed Flopner presides.
Gee, I'm sorry. No television? Forget it, pal. I'll take the 90 days.
Video games? You're leaving to play video games? It's just that sort of talk that drove me out of the toy business and into the loony bin. Yep, this guy's nuttier than a bag of cashews. And it's playtime! Gee, I'd asked you guys to play, but you're all tied up.
Stay away from me, you irritating singing vermin. I never liked you, even as a small child.
Angelica, what did Daddy say about playing in his study? Didn't Daddy tell you not to play in here? Didn't Daddy specifically explain to you about 100 times how important his papers are? You're not being sincere, young lady. This time you're in big trouble. And you're gonna stay in your room.
But Daddy!
You're gonna stay in your room and think about what you've done.
Me? What are you doing here?
Watching my grandsons.
I'm here to watch my grandsons. Stu called me. Louis? Okay, I'll go home. But I expect to be reimbursed for gas and mileage. What did you say, Schmendrick? I'm staying. And I'll show you how to take care of kids.
You know, we were in studio, so it was kind of difficult to say they were fun stories. We just had a great time doing it. I just recall when they did the movie, I think, I remember it was Rugrats in Paris, or one of the Rugrat movies. They brought in Bruce Willis to do the voice of Spike. And I was also the voice of Spike in this series. Mm-hmm. And when they interviewed us, they have these interviews with the big superstars and whatever, and they said, so you're working with Bruce Willis, and how was that? Was that exciting? I said, well, I really didn't get to work with Bruce, but I really don't care. I don't know why they used Bruce Willis. I was the voice of Spike. Why did they need a superstar to do the voice of Spike? Well, that didn't make it into the papers. There was no way they're going to say someone didn't care. Someone didn't give a damn that it was Bruce Willis. And I was so much opposed to celebrities doing our show anyway. So as far as the fun thing goes, we went to the premiere of Grauman's Chinese Theater for the first Rugrats movie, which was unusual because it was an animated movie. And a lot of big stars joined. They got a lot of big celebrities who brought their kids. That was the big thing for the celebrities. And Jack Riley, the late Jack Riley, was wonderful. And I were walking down the aisle, and all these people began to yell, "Jack, Jack!" The crowd was yelling, "Jack!" And Jack got all excited. And he just preened and he turned around, and they were talking to Jack Nicholson. And I looked at Jack, and Jack looked at me, and I went,
Good afternoon, YouTubers! This is TLD Flyer Tyler 658 Ultimate here with yet another spectacular yet historical pop culture review. In this week's episode, I'll be voicing my opinions on one of LA's talented veteran voiceover legends, the remarkable Mr. Michael Bell. Now, Mr. Bell was born in Brooklyn, New York, and is of Jewish descent. His early acting gigs include a guard in the TV movie for the defence, a reporter in Across the Bridge, I Was Monty's Double, a state trooper in First Man into Space, Selden in War is Hell, a captain of the guard in an episode of the BBC series Sir Francis Drake, Dr. Monaghan in the summer of '63, Garson in an episode of Gomer Pyle, USMC, Leroy Johnson in the 1967 movie Thunder Alley, an episode of both Get Smart, starring Don Adams, and The Monkees with Davy Jones and Ricky Dolenz, Jim Benton in Blue, a lobby guard in the movie Point Black, a motorcyclist in the late 60s series The Good Days, Cleve in the movie Brother John, amongst others, of which we will get to later. His well-known voice roles include Duke in the G.I. Joe original 80s series, Mark in Speed Buggy, All-Star Seaworthy and Big Weed in the Snorks, Grouchy Smurf, Handy Smurf, Lazy Smurf, Johan, and later Gargamel, replacing Paul Winchell in the original series of Smurfs, Chaz, Drew and Grandpa Boris in the original Rugrats series, Devlin as the titular stuntman in the 70s Hanna-Barbera series, Quackerjack and others in the original Darkwing Duck, Zan and Gleek in the original Hanna-Barbera DC Super Friends series, Lance and Sven in the original Voltron series, and again as Lance in the 1990 series, and Prowl and others in the original Transformers series, alongside greats Frank Welker and Peter Cullen, and as Raziel in the Legacy of Kain video game series. His other TV roles include Stutz in the Patty Freeling series, The Houndcats, The Barclays, The Scooby-Doo Show, CB Bears, Laugh Olympics, Dr. Ben in Genre of the Jungle alongside BJ Ward, Plastic Man, late 70s series, Space Stars, Trollkins, Dr. Bruce Banner in The Incredible Hulk 80s series, The Quickie Koala Show, Rubik's The Amazing Cube 80s series, Thundar the Barbarian, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends 80s series, The New Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo Show, GoBots, Jetsons 80s Revival, Kid Video, Yogoth and Goltar and the Golden Lance, The Flintstone Kids, Centurions, Inhumanoids, Foo-Fur, The New Adventures of Johnny Quest, Rambo 80s series, Moon Dreamers, Grogar in My Little Pony 80s series, A Talking Onion in DuckTales original series, Snake Eyes in Saber Rider and the Star Sheriffs, Lex Luthor in Superman 80s series, A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, The Completely Mental Misadventures of Ed Grimley, Raggedy Ann and Andy 80s series, The Karate Kid animated series, Ghostbusters animated series, Dink the Little Dinosaur, Potsworth and Co., Tailspin, Tom and Jerry Kids, Don Quixote and Sancho Panda, Tiny Toon Adventures as Batman, Robotics, Pirates of Dark Water, Capital Critters, Fish Police, The Addams Family 90s series, Goof Troop, Batman the Animated Series 90s, Wild West COW Boys, The Collector and Calamari in Disney's Bonkers, Captain Planet and the Planeteers, Problem Child Animated Series, Aziz and Al Muddy Leader in Aladdin series, Duckman, SWAT Cats, Sonic the Hedgehog Saturday AM Season 2, Mighty Max, Earthworm Jim, The Father Owner in Deke's What a Mess, The Savage Dragon, Ezekiel Rage in Johnny Quest The Real Adventures, Ariel Monsters, Mitch McCutcheon, Zax in The Incredible Hulk 90 series, Project Geeka, Quack Pack, Disney's Gargoyles, The Mask animated series, The Bluffers Flub, The New Woody Woodpecker Show, Oh Yeah Cartoons, Garbage Island, Professor McNoggin in Lloyd in Space, House of Mouse as Pongo, an NTSB inspector in Justice League, Chalk Zone, The Batman, Witch, an evil bunny in Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Family Guy, Brian the Bachelor as All-Star as a reprisal role of a cutaway, Handy Manny Season 1, Duke's Dad and others in G.I. Joe, Renegades, The LeBrons, Community, G.I. Jeff, Transformers Rescue Bots, Star Wars Rebels, The Archivist in Voltron Legendary Defender, Quackerjack in DuckTales Reboot, and most recently an episode of Star Wars Tales of the Underworld. His other voice roles include Davy Crockett on the Mississippi, Scooby Goes Hollywood, Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, Daniel Boone, Heidi's Song, Star Fairies, GoBots Battle of the Rocklords, My Little Pony, the movie, 80s original, Transformers original 80s movie, G.I. Joe original 80s movie, Joshua and the Battle of Jericho, The Little Troll Prince, The Good, the Bad and Huckleberry Hound as Stinky Dalton and others, Rocking with Judy Jetson as Quasar, Little Nemo, Adventures in Slumberland, Jetsons the Movie as a board member, Opus the Penguin in A Wish for Things That Work, Mr. Pyrite in I Yabba Dabba Doo and Holly Rockabye Baby, Stokey in Homeward Bound 2, starring Michael J. Fox, Sally Field and Carla Gugino, Adventures in Odyssey, Someone to Watch Over You, Chance Drew and Grandpa Boris in the Rugrats movie and the former two in the later movies, Professor Frankenstein in Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet Frankenstein, Home on the Range, Cars as Various Cars, Scooby-Doo Loch Ness Monster, Tangled as Various Gods, the original Disney movie, Race to Space, The Time Traveller's Wife, ADR, Pippi Longstocking, 80s movie as Horse, Furry Vengeance, ADR Group, Luca as various Portoroso villagers, Wish, Disney's Wish, and most recently, DreamWorks' The Wild Robot as some background animals. His other live roles include Three's Company as Mike, Janet's instructor, Here Come the Bride's Christmas episode, The Big Valley, Mannix, The Law, The Man in the City, Airport, starring Helen Hayes, The Bold Ones, Tenafly, The FBI, The Rockford Files, Cannon, Barney B. Jones, Pretricelli, MASH, Roller Coaster, Revenge of the Pink Panther, Chuck Randall in Fast Company, The Next Step Beyond, Benson, The 25th Man, Take Your Best Shots, Dallas, Hotel, Fame 80s series, Remington Steele, Scarecrow and Mrs. Steele, Dutch Treat, Hunter, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, Chud 2, Bud the Chud, The Monsters Today, Mancuso, FBI, Baby Talk, Voice of Baby Andre, FBI, The Untold Stories, The Stupids as Xylophone and Kitty, A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, starring Martin Lawrence, narrated an episode of Earth's Fury, narrated various episodes of E! True Hollywood Story, a later episode of 6 Feet Under, starring Peter Krause, It Waits, voice of Hoppy, Batwoman as Staffer, and most recently, the voice of Sheriff Kovac in the English dub of the French series Visitors. Video game roles include Bouncers, Blazing Dragons, Orion Burgers, 101 Dalmatians, Escape from Deville Manor as Jasper, Baldur's Gate, Command and Conquer, Tiberian Sun, Revenant, Y2K, Star Trek Starfleet Command, and New Worlds, amongst others, Star Wars Force Commander, Diablo 2, Icewind Dale, Command and Conquer, Red Alert 2, Sacrifice, Giant Citizen Kabuto, Ground Control, Dark Conspiracy, Fallout Tactics, Emperor Battle for Dune, Yuri's Revenge, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, Bloody Roar, Primal Fury, Soldier of Fortune 2, Double Helix, Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos, Dark Chronicle, Enter the Matrix, Ark the Lad, Seirei no Kokon, Ratchet & Clank 2, Locked and Loaded, I Ninja, Champions of Norath, Realms of EverQuest, Ninja Gaiden, Galleon, Shark Tale the Game, Xenu Saga Episode 2, Shell Shock, Nam 67, The Bard's Tale, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, World of Warcraft, Shadow of Rome, Champions, Return to Arms, Narc, Rise of the Kazai, Madagascar the Game, Advent Rising, Age of Empires Dark Watch, Siphon Filter, Dark Mirror, Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Jericho, Universe at War Earth Assault, Lost Odyssey, Condemned 2, Bloodshot, Madagascar 2 the Game, Ratchet & Clank A Crack in Time, Alpha Protocol, Rage, Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII, Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft, Heroes of the Storm, Transformers Devastation, World of Warcraft, Legion, and Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. His daughter, Ashley Bell, is also a voice actress known for various ADR and is an animal rights activist. He is also the godfather of Three Men and a Baby star Steve Guttenberg. He had also done stage roles during his career where he and his future wife Victoria Carroll, known for Sadie Mae Scroggins from Scooby-Doo Meets the Boo Brothers, opened the West End Playhouse in Van Nuys. The two of them organised, wrote and directed and acted in dozens of productions. One of the most notable plays, The Ladies of the Camellias, in which Belle played the villain, Ivan, and Victoria starred as Madame Sarah Bernhardt. The play won multiple Drama Logue Awards. He then sold his theatre company in the late 1980s. In 1991, during the beginning of Rugrats, he and his future colleague, Melanie Chartoff, conceived the Grey Ray rotating drain, a grey water recycling device for reuse of shower and sink water in the home. The following year, they finished and patented the product with the help of Ronald K. Ford. As of 2026, his legacy remains an inspiration to future voice actors, fans, and historians alongside fellow veteran voiceover colleague B.J. Ward. He also attends various 80 reunion conventions. Wow! Michael Bell, another legendary voice actor for the books. Alrighty, that concludes this week's Pop Culture Review. Keep your eyes peeled for next episode where I voice my opinions on yet another legendary veteran who we sadly lost back in 2024, the legendary Peter Renedy. Stay tuned, folks. Bye!